Welcome back, everybody, to Rob's MetalWorks. Hope all the Metal Familia is tuning in around the world to the best in Texas metal. Tonight, we have the esteemed pleasure to support music from our sister city, Austin, Texas. And you know, it kind of seems like all the bands I interview from Austin are the premier black metal bands. And tonight, it's not any different, because I have with me the black metal aficionado, Thornicator from Temple of Ahriman, here in the Rob's MetalWorks studio. Welcome, sir, to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I'm really stoked about tonight, and I've been stoked ever since we confirmed this, because I'm such a big fan of your record, man, and we're going to get into that deeply here in a little bit. But like I said, you know, we interview bands primarily from San Antonio, and we do dabble with bands from the Valley and Austin. And I know that, you know, when I heard your record, I said, oh, this guy's a veteran. You know, he knows what the fuck he's doing, you know, in writing these compositions. And we're going to talk about the diversity of the black metal genre. But I think it's important to start with you and who you are. I remember when we started communicating, you shared a little bit about your history. And I also want you to share about that with the people around the world who watch our show. So tell us a little bit about your background. Now, you were originally from Austin?
Yeah, born and raised.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And how did you get into the metal scene? Or tell us a little bit about your journeys in the metal scene in Austin.
Well, I grew up Christian conservative household.
That explains it all.
I had one older sibling, a sister 6 years older than me. Yeah. She didn't, you know, she was listening to mostly stuff like Smashing Pumpkins and stuff, so that was never my thing, you know. So I didn't have like an older brother or something kind of show me the way, you know, towards metal.
Yeah.
If you ask someone like 10 years older than me, you know, how do you get into heavy music? They'd probably say something like Megadeth or Anthrax. For better or worse, when I was coming of age, you know, it was, you know, new metal was the thing. Limp Bizkit, Korn, they were on the album covers. So to, you know, angsty, hormone-filled, you know, 12-year-old, you know, that stuff
worked.
was
it
like,
was
yeah,
enough.
it just spoke to me, you know.
Right.
So that was my thing for a few years. Then I'd say a funny thing happened. You know, Korn did a live cover of Metallica's One, and that was kind of my intro to that. It was probably kind of
to the more thrashier stuff.
Yeah. So I was into thrash for about like 5 seconds, and then that led towards groove metal, a little bit of metalcore. When I discovered melodic death metal, the whole Gothenburg scene and stuff, that changed my life.
That was it.
And then eventually it developed into black metal.
Were you when you were still coming up? Were you already playing an instrument? Were you already into being a musician?
Yeah, if you want to get technical, my first instrument was alto sax in middle school band, you know. But about a year into that, I've been pestering my parents for, you know, forever. Hey, I want a bass. I want to play bass, you know. Yeah. It was some of my favorite sounds on those. It was particularly Ryan Martini from Mudvayne. Yeah. That clang and stuff on those records. It just... you know, everyone wants to play guitar.
That slap bass.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me go a different path. If everyone's gonna pick up 6 strings, I'm gonna pick up 4. You know. So that was,
And when did you get into your first band?
I had a couple garage bands when I was around like 17, 18 years old.
Were you doing new metal at that?
Never did I was already past the new metal thing at that age, you know.
You're already into the heavy stuff.
It was at that time the only thing anyone around me wanted to play was deathcore. So I was in a couple projects like that. They never took off. They never did any shows. You know, I was just we had a few songs jamming in a garage, and that was it. My first real band that's worth mentioning is actually Vesperian Sorrow.
Right. Okay.
So we can lead into that now if you want.
Yeah. You know, I know those dudes, and I've known about Vesperian Sorrow for a long, long time. You know, even back in the day when they had their original singer, I forgot his name.
Donnie.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Donnie.
Yep. And I remember they played one of my events in San Antonio, one of my Rob's MetalWorks showcases. I had them play. And so I was always a fan of what they were doing. And then I remember in one of your emails to me, you said, yeah, Rob, I played on Stormwinds of Ages. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was like, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm sorry, you know, that I have to apologize. You said we crossed paths when Bruca was here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, you know, I cross paths with a lot of different people. So sometimes I don't recall. But I was glad that you reached out, man, because, you know, you obviously know that you have something really good on your hands. The name of your band is called Temple of Ahriman.
Correct.
That's a cool name.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very cool name. How did you decide to form your own band?
Well, to understand Temple of Ahriman, you kind of have to think of it as an extension of my previous band, Triacanthos. So I was in a band with those guys. It was a 3-piece, and we had a record. We recorded it. We got back the final mixes, and it was garbage. We were like, we can't use this, you know?
Oh, really?
So we were going to re-record it, and but this happened to be COVID was just taken off, so everything, the studio time kept getting pushed back.
Right.
Oh, it's not safe to do it yet, you know.
Right.
So I was going, well, hey guys, you know, momentum is everything here. You know, people forget about you in 5 minutes, so let's start writing for the follow up. You know, so that's what I did. I started writing songs and stuff. Eventually, I ended up with like two albums worth of music, and I was like, okay, well, this is you know, this is unrealistic for these guys to learn 24 songs, you know. So I had a buddy during the pandemic that was, you know, he was pestering me, come on man, let's jam, let's do something. So that was he was the guy that kind of spurred me to start my own project, and so that's kind of the genesis of that. Yeah.
Wow. How did so you wrote all this music, and in some of your press material, you know, you kind of tout, you know, that obviously, you know, you're kind of at the heart of it, and like a one-man band. Was that always kind of the plan? I mean, I know you have a show coming up next month. Mm-hmm. And you've obviously had to have put a band together to play that show, but will Temple of Ahriman continue to be a one-man thing?
In studio, yes.
Yeah, studio. Right.
My original idea for the band was strictly like studio project.
Right.
But you know, I recorded a single in 2021 at Rope's End. I released it, and it was just dead on arrival. Like no one cared about it. It wasn't getting any plays or stuff. And I said, well, I guess playing out is a necessary evil.
Right.
You know? I have a real love-hate relationship with shows. You know, it can really kind of ruin. A bad show can really be detrimental for band morale and stuff. So I said, okay, I guess I got to play some shows. So I put together a group. The way I like to think of it is there's basically two versions of the band. There's Temple of Ahriman as it exists in the studio, which is me on all the stringed instruments, the keyboards, the vocals, session drummer, because I can't play drums to save my life. And then there's Temple of Ahriman as it exists as a live band, and that's where I bring in some friends and stuff to play the parts.
Will the live band be a 4-piece or a 3-piece? Or?
4-piece, yeah. Two guitarists, me on bass and vocals, and a drummer.
Okay. So, tell me a little bit about the name Temple of Ahriman. Where'd you get that from?
Sure. A lot of people think I got it from there's a Dark Funeral song by the same name. Okay. I got it I first thought latched on to that name about 2 years before that song was ever published, so it's a happy coincidence. I'm a fan of that band, but I got it from a grimoire, a modern grimoire by the occultist Michael W. Ford. He basically, you've heard of Christians, say, oh, you shouldn't drink, you shouldn't smoke, your body is the Lord's temple,
Yeah.
And so a lot of people think I'm talking about like a brick and mortar temple,
right.
To Ahriman. But no, it's actually, the idea behind it is making yourself like a living embodiment of Ahriman, which is, people say, well, why Ahriman? And it's what if you go back far enough, he's from ancient Persia. That was the first religion that introduced duality, good and evil, and stuff. Right. So that's where that comes from. Yeah.
And accepting your evilness is part of who you are.
Shadow work.
Yeah. When I first was digesting this record, initially, because like I told you, I listened to this record every day and I've been jamming it. There were some components of it that reminded me a lot of the band called Melakesh. Are you familiar with them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Melakesh. They kind of have like this also Persian type of mantra, old school like that, like ancient Anunnaki kind of thing going on. But it kind of reminded me that some of the riffs and the lyrics and the sonic landscape on it. When I started this interview, I said Thornicator, and that is also part of the imagery of Temple of Ahriman. Did that name was that name birthed when you started Temple, or was that already a name that you undertook way back?
That was a name I adopted back in 2019 when I first joined. Triacanthos, the previous band. The other two guys had stage names, so I had to follow suit. Story behind that is kind of an inside joke, so maybe over a couple beers I'll tell you someday.
Right. No, that's always good. Like all these black metal peeps always have their crazy names. But that's cool, man. I like it. I've always loved the genre of black metal because the musicians who do black metal kind of try to personify, the music and what they're doing. Like even your press photos, with the lighting or the candles and the hood, and I think there's a little statue of Baphomet in the front and stuff. So I really dig that, and that's really cool because I think the visual part of black metal is just so important to fans of black metal. Now, as I talk about black metal, I think for the novice people out there, they would think, okay, there's thrash, there's power, there's groove metal, and there's black metal. And they only have those breakdowns to distinguish the umbrella of metal. But even within the genre of black metal, there's many different types of subgenres. And you used words like second wave of black metal, contemporary Finnish black metal, and D-beat. Break that down for the people who do not know maybe some of those subgenres. And if you say, contemporary Finnish black metal, like, oh, what is that? Like, what personifies that?
Yeah, so that that was some verbiage included in the press release.
Sure.
I was thinking of the 8 songs that were on this record, and I was thinking, like, what kind of styles describe them and stuff. I've got some songs that have death metal elements, but they didn't make it onto this record. So I didn't, I was just brainstorming, and those were the things that came up. I've been compared to, the second wave of black metal, the stuff from Norway everyone knows, Mayhem, Emperor, burgeoning.
Yep.
I've been told, oh, you have a real old school approach to your songwriting and stuff. And then I would say, though, I draw influences from everything, all the stuff I like. But we're at the core, we're rooted most in the Finnish black metal sound. If you're unfamiliar with them, stuff like Satanic War Master, Horna, Sargeist, all that stuff.
Yeah. That's a little bit beyond my scope, to be quite frank.
You're missing out.
You're
missing out. It has a very distinct sound. It's very raw, but very melodic at the same time. And
that's what I love about your record, bro. As JB was sharing with you before we started rolling, when I felt the same way as he does. When I listen to your record, it just has a little bit of everything. And you even said to me before we started rolling, you says, Rob, I don't need to blast beat all the time. There's some a little bit of melody, but really just some mid-tempo stuff in there, and some sonic landscape in there, and just good a good pace to these songs, man. I really love it and I dig it. And initially it took me a little while to digest it and understand every nuance, but I got it. When I finally got it, I was like, oh man, this is great, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
This is great. Let's talk about kind of the vision for Temple. Okay. Obviously there's a really, and as with traditional black metal, very ominous, kind of dark kind of imagery to it. Yeah. And so was that something that came natural to you too? Or did you say, if I got to do black metal, I got to adopt that imagery? Or,
I mean, the whole, the concept behind this record is all very kind of magical, you see the promo photo. I'm in the robe. There's the candles and stuff.
Yeah.
People will probably think that was stuff I bought just for the photo shoot, but
I took that from my bedroom.
That was stuff I had laying around. Like that's me.
That's so fucking cool.
I didn't have to put on
it's
an
not
act
fake.
for that. Yeah. So
yeah, that's cool, man.
yeah.
So that's really who you are, right? At your heart of what you love about music and as a musician. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's it's one of the things that really draws me to black metal over other genres of metal is just there's almost kind of like a spiritual element to it, like death metal's fun and stuff. I would classify that more in like the entertainment sphere, though.
Sure.
And this is more,
a
little more serious. It's a little more dear to my heart. So, yeah.
Well, there's some European black metal guys who like burned churches and shit and murdered people and stuff like that. Yeah, I know it's real, man. I know it's real.
I won't go that far, but
I don't know if you can see that picture right there. That's me and Nergal from Behemoth. Back when they first started, bro. Back when they were nobody back then. They played a little ass club in San Antonio called the Sanctuary.
Oh, okay. What year was that?
Oh man, I'd have to look it up. But that
maybe 01.
I want to say early 2000s. I met Nergal one more time after that, and he was already kind of bigger. But yeah, man, back then he was like at his shows, he was like, yeah, we're fucking anti-Christian motherfuckers. Fucking start going into it. But that motherfucker's real too, and like, he's always being persecuted in Poland for all kinds of crazy shit. But yeah, no, I understand exactly what you're saying. And I kind of have a deep respect for musicians who embrace their art and their music and subsequently their spirituality at a very profound level. So that's great, man. That's great. And I knew that's the type of dude that you were before you got here, honestly.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get deeper into your upcoming release, your debut release.
Right on.
8 songs. The title of the record is called Heretics of Consensual Reality. Go ahead and take a look at it, everybody. It will drop next month on June 26, 2026. It will be out on all your music media platforms. Be sure to look for it. Like I said, I am a huge, huge fan. And I want to thank you, Thornicator, for sending me this record. Before you got here, I was telling Rick and JB, I said, I always get a lot of stuff. People always send me their stuff. And some of it's, you never know what to expect. And I told him, I said, man, when I got your record, I thought it was like, just send me your record. And then when I jammed it, I was like, holy smokes, this shit's fucking great. So, again, like I knew what I could quickly ascertain was, one, that you knew what the fuck you were doing in that genre and that you had experience in that genre. And it's so well done, bro. Did you know, when you were finally, I know we're going to talk about this in a bit, but I know that the creation of this record was a long process for you, but did you know when it was finally done that you had accomplished something beautiful?
Yeah, I like to think so. It was...
Did you feel that? Did you feel confident? Like, oh man, I got a great fucking record here.
I felt, man, this is as humanly close to the vision as I could get it.
Yeah.
It took 3 attempts in the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, ton of money. Mixing, mastering it.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. As I just shared it, it offers a great amount of dynamic, lot of tempo changes, finely placed, landscape. I remember the first time I heard the sex part in Baphomet's Kiss. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like Satan's banging, to this song. It's crazy. Yeah. Good stuff, man. And so I could tell that you had really put some effort in it. You just shared that it took you a long time. Share a little bit about the process. Why did it take you so long? Of course, there's trial and error. And then, I know guys like you who are like, musicians are like, oh man, it has to be fucking perfect, And you hear little nuances in your recording that you don't like. And maybe to the common everyday metal fan, they might not even notice. But, obviously you do. So why did it take so long?
Right. So I first went into the studio in 2022 to record it. This producer, the guy recording the record, I'd trusted him with a small project before, and he did a great job.
Yeah. Austin guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I figured, okay, well, I'll trust him with a larger project. And, I think it was a combination of things. I think I threw too many songs at my drummer. I think I threw too many songs at the studio and stuff. And, there were things about my performance that could have been a little bit better and stuff. But, that's the thing, when you're tracking at a studio, you're going there and, you got one day to, record right side guitars, one day to record left side guitars and stuff. And, so it was, from the time the drums started to when I got the final mixes back, there was that's how long it took to get the mixes, and out of those, I went in there with 12 songs. I got 4 that I felt were like, I could stand behind this. I could release this. The rest didn't feel good, but that wasn't the vision I had for those songs. Right. I had this vision for this album, so I didn't really have any budget to go into another studio right away. So I beefed up my home studio, recorded it all at home, sent the stems for mixing and mastering somewhere, waited a long time, kind of a similar deal happened. Finally, I got this different session drummer, different studio. The drummer and the producer were brothers, and they were just like a well-oiled machine. They just knocked it out of the park and stuff. So they kind of brought this album back for the break, because I was like, this is my last attempt. I don't know what I'm gonna do if this doesn't work.
The wifey's not giving me any more money for this project.
I was single then. So and then after it was mixed and mastered, I started shopping it around. Couple prolonged negotiations that never went anywhere, and eventually I just decided to I said, well, shoot, I guess I gotta self-release this. I don't want to do this, but
all right.
I thought about this date. I was 6/26/26. Take out the 2s, and you got 666. It's silly, but I got excited about it. I said, all right, I can get behind that. I got time to make this happen. Yeah.
I'm such a fan of this record, and I wish you nothing but the best. And I feel that once this record comes out and is digested by true underground metal fans, that someone's gonna pick it up, bro. Someone will pick it up. I don't know if in the States, but for sure, someone from Europe or in the Norwegian area will pick this up, man, because I've heard bands that maybe aren't as even close to this record get little deals, and you're definitely worthy of that.
Oh, thank you.
These songs, all of these songs are good, bro. All of these songs are good. Any one of them could have been the first single, really. Infernal Imperium is like my favorite track of all of them. I love that song. And of course, I love Baphomet's Kiss and Wrath of Iblis. But when I thought about it, I was like, man, this guy was fucking on fire. Like kicking out these songs like this. So you also kind of share in your bio that it was kind of like a prolific time for you and that things were just going really well for you, and that you felt really good about the writing process.
Oh yeah.
Share a little bit about that.
Man.
What do you attribute that to?
Well, I guess it's a silver lining to a shitty situation. It was the day of that the governor of Texas declared the COVID lockdown. I'm stuck at home. I don't got nothing to do. What am I gonna do? I picked up a guitar and started writing.
Wow.
Yeah.
42 minutes long. These 8 songs on this record. Mm-hmm. That's a good chunk of music. That's a pretty good chunk of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to skimp. I wanted to give people, something to chew on.
And then you still have some left over, you said? Maybe a few tracks left over?
A lot
left over. All right. Well, I would say this. I'm always tell bands this, be careful, be strategic, just because you have a lot of shit in the bank doesn't, don't cannibalize yourself, out in the market, right. Let these songs get absorbed, massage these songs, and really give Heretics the support in the market that it deserves. You kind of mentioned this a little bit, but where did you primarily record? I know you said you had 3 different studios, but were all those 3 different studios in in Austin.
Yeah. So the final place where it ended up was it was all the guitars, bass, vocals, the keyboards. Those are all recorded at my house. And then I sent those stems off to a studio, Evil Snail Studios in Austin. So, like I said, the producer, engineer, whatever that works there, his brother was the session drummer that played on the album, and so they know how to work together. Right. It was a real. So all the drums were recorded in one day. The guy made me nervous because he said I don't need to know them like the back of my hand going into it. And I go, are you sure? You go in there, he'd say, let me hear the first half of that song. And he'd listen. You go in there, he'd knock it out. Say, okay, Let me hear the second half of that song. You go in there, knock it out.
Wow.
And it was done.
So is it safe to assume that these studios were accustomed to recording black metal? I mean, is that their forte?
Yeah. I would say the first studio, they've certainly made some good black metal recordings.
Right.
But they had some things they did that were a little weird. They were very anti-click track. Like why wouldn't you want it to match up on a grid? Right. They just I think it's a great place to record like a 3-track punk EP. But
sure.
I wouldn't go back there.
Not
again.
For the level of professionalism that you wanted for this record.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that it's not they're not a professional studio or something, but it was just a bad match, I guess. Yeah.
The first single, you've released one single online, and all you people, you can find it on YouTube. It is called SPQM. QB, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. QB. That's a killer song. And it's a pretty diverse song. I like all the different things it delivers. And like I said earlier, it could have been any of a number of songs off the record. Why'd you choose that one?
Man, I was really torn. I wanted to do Infernal Imperium as the lead single, but sure. I didn't know if it'd be thought it might be misunderstood by some people, so I was looking for I got like a slower mid-paced song that's going to be the second single that comes out next Friday, May 29th. So I wanted to pick like a slower one and a faster one.
Sure. And
when I was looking at all the songs that were pretty blast beat heavy and stuff, that was the most like concise one. It wasn't this 6-minute epic that people had to slog through. It was 4 minutes compact.
Let's hook them and get them ready for the record.
Yep.
Yeah. Smart choice, man. Smart choice. What's the reception been like so far?
Pretty good, man. Everyone's pretty impressed. I had some anxieties about that one because there is some repetition there. I mean, the first riff, it repeats for like the first 2 minutes of the song. Drums, patterns and stuff, change it up and stuff. But I mean, everyone. I haven't heard that criticism yet from anyone else, so I guess I'm just kind of my own worst critic.
Do you contemplate reception more from like the fan base of black metal in the region, or is it more? Do you consider a lot more about what are my peers going to say? Because you've worked with a lot of musicians.
Oh, I don't care what my peers think.
No.
I mean, my session guys, I bounce ideas off of them. Hey, should we put this song in the set? But Nah, first and foremost, I got to please myself.
For sure.
And then, like consider, certain things when I'm putting together an album, picking a single, that kind of stuff. So
you mentioned the second single coming out on May 29th. Can you tell us at this point? I'm not sure this interview will be out before then.
I just put out the like a teaser video
I saw
for
the
today.
snow.
It's gonna be White Death. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
all right. Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
Very cool. You have your release party coming up on the day that the record drops, June 16th,
June 26th.
26th at Valhalla. I really want to go to that show, bro.
Oh,
me and the guys are really going to try to make it up for this show. But if I understood you correctly, that's not the first show for Temple of Ahriman.
No. We played. We were pretty active gigging in like 2023.
Yeah.
And a little bit into 2024. Then our drummer quit. And that was a big setback for a couple of years, despite living in the quote unquote music capital of the world.
Right.
We had that kind of trouble finding a session drummer, and so
that's cool. Yeah. Austin has a pretty kind of robust but underground black metal scene. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's I feel like it's dropped off a little bit in the last couple of years. A lot of it's drummers, if I'm being honest. One guy quits and it sets back 3 or 4 bands. It's
But what about the fan base?
The fan base? It's pretty good.
And so you're playing that show with San Antonio's Fluxus Mortis, Spear Siege, and Varenth, which I am not familiar with. So I definitely want to go up and check it out. I can't even remember when the last time I went to Valhalla was. So we're going to try to make it out there. So I'm assuming you're rehearsing and getting ready for that.
Yeah, we had our first rehearsal with the new drummer, I think last weekend. And it went pretty well. I was a little nervous going into it because, I've had people. I knew the guy could play. I'd seen videos of him. I'm like, okay, he can blast faster than anything I have on the record, but can you learn parts that I wrote for him? That's because I've had some bad experience. I've had people come in. Oh yeah, I got the whole thing learned. They did not have it learned, So yeah, but he did a great job. So I'm feeling confident. Looks like we're gonna be playing the whole record, start to finish.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Thornicator, give these guys a chance, man. Don't be so brutal with them. Show them a little love from your black metal heart. Or any, not that I was going to say, like, who are some of these guys in your band? Are they from any other notables in the black metal scene?
Yes. So we have my right-hand man is Amazapir. He played with me in my previous band, Triacanthos. So he kind of followed me over to this new project.
Nice.
He actually wrote the albums, mostly me, but he did contribute a couple riffs on the last 2 songs. So besides, he's the only real outside contribution there. Then you got Anhedonia. He's my other guitarist. He's from Varenth. He plays guitar in that band. They're going to be opening the show,
really? He's doing double duty then.
Yeah, and he's also the bassist and vocalist for a death metal band in Austin, Death File Red. If you've heard of them, killer band. I'd recommend checking them out.
All right.
And then we got he doesn't have a stage name yet, I don't think, but Dan, the drummer from Fluxus Mortis. So
Okay.
Got a couple of guys pulling double duty.
Yeah.
This week.
Cool. Well, that's how it happens nowadays. It's really weird. I remember back in the old days, you were in one band and that was it. Nowadays, everybody's kind of like in 2 or 3 bands.
Oh yeah.
But that's just the way it is. So what's your strategy for approaching shows in 2026? Do you want to? I mean, the record's going to be out. Do you want to be out there supporting it as much as possible, or?
Really, I'm just seeing like how the show goes. It's kind of a lineup change with the new drummer and stuff. So, I was always waiting to play any out of town shows until the record was out. So now I don't really have any excuse. So, I'd like to. I got like an idea of like doing a Texas tour.
Yeah.
You get a band from Dallas, you get a band from Houston, one from San Antonio, one from Austin, and you tell them, hey, y'all set up a show in your city. You don't have to worry about the lineup; it's already there. We all just agree to these 2 weekends and make it happen. So I'd like to organize something like that, but we'll see. A lot's changed since we last played. Both my guitarists have newborns at home, so
that definitely fucks it all up.
I thought I was gonna have to go out there and play guitar myself with a drummer, but thankfully they said they're still in. So
I'm glad you bring that up because I've seen videos of you playing guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But you said playing live, you're going to play bass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a couple of reasons for that. It's just simpler. It's mostly root notes.
Yeah. And you got to sing too.
Yeah. It's simpler to multitask the two. And I have the gear for it. I play all the guitar parts on the record and stuff. Yeah. I write my music on guitar, but I've never played a show as a guitarist, so I don't have an amp. I don't have, that stuff for
Sure.
So.
All right. Would you playing outside of Texas or the U.S. interest you at all?
I mean, yeah, that would be cool. I think I know at least 3 of us have passports. So yeah.
I could easily see you guys getting asked to play a gig or a one-off somewhere across the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait for this record to come out. And for really, I know maybe there's some choice people in the industry like myself who have heard this record, but I think once people really digest it, the fan base, I think it's going to do really well for you. You talked about, getting a band from every city. Have you ever heard of a band called Dawn of Existence from San Antonio?
I think I've heard the name before.
Yeah, you got to check them out.
Okay.
Those guys released a record. I interviewed them last year, and they're working on a new record right now. But those dudes got a deal from a label in Norwegian, out of Norway or Finland or somewhere, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously, they got a real deal. And their record, I remember their record had been out for a little bit and kind of really hadn't gone anywhere. And then somehow or another, these fucking label guys got a hold of it and they signed them. And they're distributing it out now over there as well. Mm-hmm. So, check them out, man. And, maybe something like that could happen for you. I know it could. Could.
Thank you.
What about video work? I know you released the first single, just like the audio on YouTube and stuff, but it wasn't like really like a video. Is video work something that intrigues you? Is that something? And as much as we talked about the imagery of black metal,
I feel like videos can be kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like it separates the garage bands from the big leaguers. But also you put out something that's cheesy and
right. You got to be especially very careful with black metal.
So I mean, most of it comes down to I'm the only one bankrolling this project as a one-man band, so I'm not splitting this three, four, five ways, you know. So it's all comes down to this.
Yeah, we've talked about this. I've talked about this previously with other bands, and like in every nowadays, it's almost commonplace where like every band, you know, of 3 or 4 or 5 guys, you know, there's a guy who's like a social media marketing manager, and one of the guys in the band is a video editor, and one of the guys is a producer, engineer. You know, so they have all these dudes in the band who know how to do shit on the back end that needs to get done. So yeah, I mean, I understand. I feel you. I feel you. I'd love to see you do a video though. I think for black metal, it's important. I'd love to see you do one, man. So, you know, if you need some references, you know, there's some people I know that I could hook you up with, and they're really reasonable people. You know, they're not crazy. You know, nobody's getting rich in underground fucking heavy metal music in Texas. Yeah, you know, we all do this shit because we love it, right? We love it. On. Yeah. All right, my man. On a similar note, as we get near the end of this interview, talk to me a little bit about social media. Social media has just become so prevalent. It's become part of the game. You know, people rely on social media to get information, to learn, to listen. What's your approach to social media?
Man,
is that a pain in the ass, or just something that you feel is important?
I mean, I probably spend too much time on there. It's hard to say with the group of people I'm trying to appeal to, right. The real dyed-in-the-wool black metalers and stuff. It's hard to say, you know, are they even on Facebook or Instagram, you know? Who knows? I just, you know, I go through these kind of creative bursts where I got a lot of energy, and, you know, I'm always kind of thinking of something I can make a post out of.
Sure.
I went kind of radio silent for a while there because there just wasn't really anything to post about, you know? But yeah, we got the record coming out. So if I can, you know, put some kind of a teaser video up there, post a interview review every other day or something, just to stay in people's,
I thought the promo short-term for the memory. Second single was cool. Like, I mean, even though it's just, I mean, the snowflakes and stuff, that looked really cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was well done. So I think you're on the right track, my man. But yeah, the important thing is just to have valid, good content, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, even though you're not playing guitar live, just fucking do a guitar playthrough, bro. You know, with just some backing tracks on the drums, you know? People want to see you throw down, you know? And that's cool. I like that. Right on. And I think that builds interest into the music. All right, my man. Is there anything you think I missed? Anything else that I should have covered that I didn't, that you can think of?
Oh man, I mean, there's a lot, you know, you could do.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's well, I mean, you know, my whole kind of arc from, you know, past up to present, you know. We mentioned, you know, Vesperian was my you know, they were my first real band. I mentioned in my.
I know the guys from Vesperian Sorrow very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, when you said, Rob, you know, Vesperian was kind of a jumping off point for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it surprised me because they were without a bass player for a while. And they're all 31, 32 years old, and I'm 19 coming into this audition. Wow. Like, hey guys, you know, I can play bass, I promise, you know. And I showed up. They gave me 2 songs to learn, an easy one and a hard one, and I came back to next practice with the easy one.
Done.
Played it flawlessly and stuff, and then just started learning more tunes. And my second gig, my first gig ever was with VS. Yeah. My second gig ever was headlining in Monterrey, Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. We did Infestival, I think was the name of it. That was fun, and a lot of fun times with them. I did we were direct support for Mayhem in Monterey. That promoter called us back. He said, so, I'm like,
why did you? How did your departure happen from that band? Why did it happen?
Well,
I don't need all the gritty details.
Yeah, no, I was just, I was just 22, 23. I was just, finished college, moving out of my parents' house and stuff, and didn't have a whole lot of disposable cash and stuff. And they were wanting to make some big moves and stuff, some costly moves. And it was just, I just couldn't hang with that at that time, So I told him, you're going this way, I'm going this way. I retired from music for like 5 years or something, just focused on adulting, getting a good job and stuff. And then 2017, I rejoined him again. Did another like 3-year stint with them.
Wow.
That's when I hooked up with Triacanthos, and that was my first gig as a main vocalist. So I kind of like to think of these bands like with Vesperian Sorrow. I was like establishing myself as a bass player. With Triacanthos, I was establishing myself as a vocalist, and then now with this band, Temple of Ahriman, I'm establishing myself as a songwriter. That's
for sure. And I think that just comes with maturity, bro.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're an older man now. Like you said, you're adulting now, and you understand music, I'm sure, a lot better now, and the songwriting process. Because I know, right? The drummer from Vesperian, his name's Chris. Is that his name, Chris?
Yeah.
That dude's like a fucking kind of like a mastermind. That dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure that a lot of your experience with them, there was a learning curve there too.
Oh,
You took stuff away from that.
I learned a lot from them. Things to do, things not to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We interviewed them, right? Last year? Was it last year or 24? I remember their last record, the last one, the Gray Light one. I gave it number 1. I do a top 10 every year.
Yeah.
I gave that record number 1 in our top 10. I love that fucking record.
Yeah.
And I think their new singer is like crazy good. He's crazy good, and I love that he that guy makes toys. Like he makes, he makes like action figures.
Yeah, he's got a lot of.
He customizes action figures,
hustles and stuff.
When he came over, he had like this big gorilla. Remember the big gorilla? He had a big gorilla, toy gorilla like this. And I said, "Oh man, that's cool." I said, "Is that for me?" He goes, "No, I just brought it so we can put it in the interview." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But he did bring me some toys, though. As you can see, I like toys too, and I've bought toys from him too. But anyway, dude, I'm so happy. It's all a process. And I think that I always tell my boys, we all go through tribulations. We lose a job, a family member dies. It's just all part of life, man. It's all part of the journey, bro. And I think with this release, you're in a really, really good place, man.
Oh, thank you.
So no matter what happens on the 26th at the show, don't let that fucking affect you, man. Stay positive, bro. Stay positive, because I want you to know, and I'm going to say this in front of all of our audience, you have a wonderful, wonderful record.
No, thank you.
And something to be very, very proud of, And sometimes, we become more popular and respected outside of our own markets. It just happens that way, especially nowadays, So, like I said earlier, I wish you all the best, man, in 2026 and beyond. As we end out, my man, Thornicator, I want to give you an opportunity to share any thank yous or show any love to people who have helped you along your musical journey.
Right on. I guess I'd want to thank the Vesperian guys for showing me the ropes, like you mentioned. Also want to thank my session guys for sticking with me. And then want to shout out Shane from Red River Family. He's releasing the album on cassette. So
really
that'll be cool. Yeah,
that was a question I was remiss to ask. So will there be will there be CDs or no CDs?
Oh yeah, we got CDs. Yeah.
Oh man, a vinyl?
No, not yet. Someone's gonna have to,
help contribute.
Yeah. So the only way I'm not self-pressing any vinyl myself, but if a label comes up, says, "Hey, I like what you got," let's talk business.
Dude, I definitely. Will you have the hard copies by the Showtime? You think June 26th?
I got one with me right now.
Oh, did you bring me one?
Yeah, for you.
Babe, pass me. Yeah. Why didn't you give it to me when you got here? Oh man, yeah. I'm old school. I love hard copy stuff.
Yeah, right on.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
And that's so cool.
That's the real deal. 12-panel booklet in there.
Wow, cool.
Like the old days.
I wish you would have given it to me as soon as you got here. Anyway, did you bring me a shirt too?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go. The crew and I are going out to a show tomorrow. In fact, that band Dawn of Existence is playing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna talk to them about you. And there's also another band called Marble Orchard that's playing tomorrow. They're more like a doomy.
Oh
band.
yeah,
You know those
they're gonna be in Austin. June 3rd for that band Worm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of them.
No.
They're kind of like this throwback to like the mid '90s, vampiric, like Cradle of Filth kind of thing.
Marble Orchard is a really cool band. Really cool band. And those dudes are diehards, man. So I'm gonna wear your shirt tomorrow at that gig, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the CD and the shirt.
Also want to thank my publicist. I forgot to mention it in the liner notes there. Yeah.
That's great that you have a publicist, and your publicist should, I'm sure your publicist is getting your stuff out to people across the pond and around the world so that they can really see how great this is. Anyone else, my man?
That's all that comes to mind right now.
What about the wifey? I'm sure she sacrificed a lot.
I gotta thank her for being patient. It's been
bro.
Ever since I decided on this date, and I said, "Okay, go time. I gotta get XYZ in order."
She's probably sick of Temple of Ahriman.
Yeah. So I gotta thank her for her patience there.
Yeah, man. You always gotta thank your woman because they either are breaking your heart or fucking helping you along the way. So, yeah, man. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you driving up and spending time with us and talking about this record. I'm a fan of this record, and I can't wait to see what happens for the rest of this year. And I hope to see you next month at our party. Celebrating 30 years. I know it's a track, but and especially if you want to, really party with us, put some money aside for a hotel room, nearby. There's plenty of hotel rooms nearby, and come and not only, just party with us, but it's an opportunity also to do some really great networking and meet a lot of other people in the music scene. A lot of musicians will be here and stuff like that. So, man, I hope to see you again, bro. I can tell you're a good guy. And your heart's in the right place, and those are the kind of people that I like to support. So thank you for not letting me down tonight. Because I didn't know what to expect from you. I didn't know what to expect from this crazy black metal guy. But you didn't disappoint, man. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Remember, everyone out there, the record that will be dropping next month is called Heretics of Consensual Reality. How can you forget that freaking title, man? It will drop on all music media outlets next month. This is the cover work. Be sure to look for it and get it in your hands. The crew fucking loves this black metal, so be sure to pick it up. Remember, you saw the band only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.